Oh, good evening, folks. Kind of a surprise show here tonight. I'm not going to be on too long here. It's been a long day, long day. I'd like to talk about something here that's just really puzzling. Now, we know a lot of reasons why people come to the Philippines, but when they're out here chasing their own tail and not really accomplish anything, perplexing to me. Um, I've witnessed a lot of shows on here, and I hear a lot of stories about foreigners that come here to this country, and um, they don't seem to know exactly what they want. They think, well, I'm going to find it, but they keep on chasing their tail. Um, okay, well, you're getting older, right? I imagine you're retirement age, a lot of you out there, and you come to another country to some of the reasons, or one of them, of course, to find a woman out here. But you never seem to be satisfied with what you find. So you figure, well, how many years do I got to live? So I'm going to chase ass as much as I can. But you know something? But the reality is, and this is something I thought about, always have really. I see my age, and although I may try to believe that I'm younger than I am, I know what the reality is. I know that magic number, my birthday. And there are times when you get your body's aches and pains and you realize you're not the younger man you used to be. That, you're in your last quarter of life, right? Or imagine so. Once you hit in the 60s, certainly. Sometimes even the 50s, really. But settling down, I always found it was so important that when you leave this earth, that you have somebody at your side, even a family or whatnot, people that give a shit about you. But when you come to this country and you just, I don't know, you just use and abuse the people out here, the Filipinos. What's the purpose? There's a cycle of life. You're born, you live this so-called life. Whatever you do in between birth and death, I mean, it's supposed to be important, right? Because you, as we know, have like one life. Unless you know something I don't. Okay, so, but what I'm discovering here, on and off YouTube, the foreigners that are out here, I don't know, they come out here to party, uh, like it's 1999. You know what I mean? And they're getting drunk, chasing ass, and then they go home lonely. They may have one night stands and so forth, but then they wake up lonely, unless you paid for them overnight. But it's another story. But what's the purpose? Now, I don't know. Maybe I'm just more old fashioned than a lot of people out here, but it has to be some purpose to be anywhere you're going to be. To have a purpose. I mean, a purpose, man. Did you wake up lonely all the time? And let me tell you something. When you are leaving your country and you go to live in a foreign country, not only the culture is different, but it's a whole different world. It might as well be a different planet, okay? And being alone, and I remember the first time I came out here, I had some slag time at my hotel, and I gotta tell you, that was the loneliest feeling in the world. How many miles I flew to be out in the Philippines and not to have somebody at your side. Now, some people, what they do to compensate for this is it doesn't matter who the woman is, they'll even pay for them to be at their side. And just to have that feeling that you're with somebody that really gives a shit about you when they really don't. Well, I'm not naming no names on here, but if it shoe fits, you know what I'm saying, man? And it just doesn't seem, is it just me? It just doesn't seem purposeful. I feel really secure. But let me tell you something kind of interesting, really. Even though, I mean, I'm settled out here, got the house, the whole bit, family thing, all that, my ducks in a row, supposedly, okay? There are still times I don't feel complete, really. Now, if I feel that when I have all this together, imagine when you don't have shit together. How complete can you feel then? Now, what I mean by not feeling complete is that, well, I'm from a different country, born and raised. And I'm in a totally different country. And, it's always going to be a foreign land, no matter what. You don't have no roots here. You have nothing here. But the other side of the coin is that why do you come here and start trouble? I mean, you're in a foreign country with, you know, either similar or dissimilar laws to where you came from, but maybe a little more stringent, a little more militaristic, maybe a little more ominous. People walk around with long guns even in front of a 7-Eleven store, if that gives you an idea. I mean, and trigger happy security guards and police and everything else. I mean, let's face it, reality. This is a place of blood and guts on the street. People being gunned down on the streets for very little reason, you would think. Okay, you can't make a presence in this country and stand out too much. You can't start trouble in this country. You can't use and abuse Filipinas or Filipinos in this country. Okay? That's like committing suicide. You have a death wish or something. The whole idea, you've left some place that, for whatever reason, you weren't happy with. You needed a change. And whether it was a woman or maybe cheaper booze or cheaper housing, you came out here, right? Yeah, I know, it is. Is that really fun? Not any Fazio. Uh, you know, the idea is that you want to live in a better place than you did before. Something about why you moved to the Philippines. It has to be something better about this place. Whether you're an alcoholic, which most foreigners are, that the booze was cheaper. I mean, you know what I've seen? I'm going to tell you what I witnessed, no matter where I go. Okay, you got all these foreigners hanging together in bars. They don't bother much with the Filipinos, unless you're a Filipina. You like to sit around the table there with your drinks, smoking cigarettes, and drinking your beer, booze, and tell all your little war stories of how you got this one and how hot she was and all that crap. Is that really? Excuse me. Is that really what you came here for? I mean, like, that's it? I mean, that's it? Really? That's as far as it goes? You came here to drink and share stories about the youngest Filipina that you had, and how hot she was? Then you go back home lonely and drunk, wake up the next morning lonely again. Then you go out on a little pilgrimage to go find some young Filipinas. Sounds like the town of Dumaguete, doesn't it? So that's what you do. And, you get a real shallow experience. She's probably not interested in you. Maybe you treated her to a good night out and drinks and everything out and dinner. She said, oh, why not? If he's willing to do it. It's so shallow. It's meaningless. Meaningless. Totally. All right. So maybe you have your fun with her. You guess that far. She goes home for the night. You wake up. Guess what? Lonely again. Is that a reason to come out here and live? Maybe, your Social Security is not carrying you in America or UK. They have Social Security. I don't know what the hell they have in the UK. I can speak of the United States. So you come out here, say it's not for women. Okay. Cheaper housing. Okay. And you want to get a Filipina because maybe you need a caretaker. Well, we understand about American women and other women in Western society. They'll throw you out the door, kick you to the street, or put you in a nursing home. And we know that doesn't happen here. Okay, so that's a good reason to come here, but not to come here to get a nursemaid, not to come here to get a caretaker. Now, that shouldn't be the reason why you come here. And if you had pre-existing conditions, you shouldn't have came here anyway. I mean, that's the way I'm looking at it. I don't know if am I the only one that sees this. I mean, we always talk about the age gap, and I always throw that in there somewhere because it always has something to do with lots of what's going on here with the foreigners. And some say, well, what's wrong with some guy in his 70s going out with a girl that's 24 years old, right? Okay, you say, well, she's legal age, so what's the problem? I mean, what's the problem you have about that? Well, I guess, we grew up in a society that, our grandchildren were that age, okay? Or daughters or grandchildren, that we were not used to seeing that when we grew up. But here they can get away with that in this country. Does it mean it's right? Does it mean it's wrong? It's really how your own personal interpretation of this is. How wrong is it and why is it wrong? Why do you think it's right? Do you really think some grandpa should be going out with a 20-year-old? Well, as he said, you get stoned in America with stones, real stones. I wouldn't be surprised. People saying, what's this guy doing with that little girl? He's a cradle robber. A lot of other choice words, right, that they fling around here on YouTube. I don't know. That's kind of the way I envision things out here. You know, um, I'm not very impressed with the foreigners that come out here. And if what we have on YouTube is an example, that we're in big trouble as foreigners out here. That eventually we're going to get, you know, a really big black eye who says we're not right now. What these people do when they come out here, what they use and abuse Filipinas, get them pregnant and leave them hanging, go from one girl to the other, promise them the moon, the stars, and the sun. We're going to get married, we're going to have a house. But the guy simply wanted to get her out of her underwear. And you got to understand something about Filipinas. They can be very gullible, and they will believe you when they say that because they're looking so hard to find a relationship with a foreigner. And they want to believe you. They really want to believe you. So they're thinking, well, maybe he really means it. Does he? And she finds out that the guys just want to get laid. He will tell her. We know people that do that, don't we? We certainly do. Tell the girl anything they want to tell the girl to make her do what he wants her to do. No names mentioned on here, but we know lots of people that do things just like that, don't we? I don't know. Is there a God? And do you believe in karma? Any of those things? Any of you all? Well, I believe in one of them anyway. And one of them got karma in a big way. And there might be others that's going to follow suit with that too. You know, you come out here, you push it too hard as a foreigner. You think you're like some demigod or something, or you think you're a rock star because you have white skin. Well, you're not a rock star. You're really not. And if you fuck around with the wrong Filipina and don't treat her right, you might have her family to deal with. See, that's part of the equation that people, when they don't do the proper mathematics, that when you fuck Filipinos over, they don't like being fucked over. And some of them are in fear to foreigner, but some of them take matters in their own hands, and they'll get family members, okay, and they'll take care of business. Now, all these people that we know of that are abusing and using Filipinas, well, there's always a prize at the end. The kind of prize they're going to receive for the abuse they give to them is not going to be a very pleasant prize. It turns out that way a lot. I believe in that. I mean, I seriously do. So, maybe I'm old-fashioned in some ways, in a lot of ways actually, but don't. If you're going to just have an open relationship with a Filipino, okay, if you're going to understand something, first of all, the Catholic Church says they don't believe in contraception and all that stuff. Keep that in mind. They say have kids, have kids, have kids, have more kids, have more kids. Okay, that's just the way it is. It's kind of drilled into their mind that it's okay, even if they can't afford them. But the worst thing you could do is get together with a foreigner that doesn't have your best interest at heart. Just wants to get in the female's pants. Okay? How fair is it to her? Then they have to raise that kid in their own because you know you're going to skip out. You know you are. You're too busy going to other bars, finding other women, while you're telling this girlfriend how true you are to her and how she means so much to you. Doesn't that make you sick? It makes me sick. It's these kind of people that should be punished. People try to find a reason to attack people on YouTube, but they're not doing it for the right reason. Find the assholes that are really bad representatives of being a foreigner to the Philippines. Find those people and attack them and whatever, expose them. Spend your time going after the real criminals on here. Asshole in Boracay. We know some other regulars on here that are total assholes. that are abusing women. One of them happens to be in jail. You got me to thank for that. Yeah, I'm very happy about it. But he's just one person. One person. Okay? One. One. There's plenty out there that are scamming people, fucking people over. Find the right people to attack if you're going to attack anybody on YouTube or otherwise. Okay? Go after the real criminals, not the hearsay criminals. Okay? Not people that you just don't like and will create a story about you to say that you're this and you're that and you did this and that. You know where I'm getting at. That's what you have to do. Because if you're going to live out here, you want Filipinos to respect you. But when you get enough of these foreigners coming in that are taking advantage, there might be a few Filipinos out there that may not know you. They may know of you. Maybe they heard you on YouTube or otherwise. They'll put a knife to your neck. They'll put a knife to your neck or the side of your ribs. You don't know that that's going to happen, but I'm saying you don't know it's not going to happen. There are people that follow people on here. They know when they did wrong. I mean, real wrong. Not made up again, not an allegation, not hearsay. They know when you did wrong. They know if you really have used and abused a Filipino. They know if you really, really disrespect the culture. And they're not like Americans out here. Okay? I mean, they'll take matters in hand in no time at all. You know? Respect for their family members that have been shamed in some way. Keep it up. These people's time will come when they least expect it. A knife goes in their rib or their neck. And you people know that's the truth. It's a different society out here. They're kind of like, desensitized to blood. Believe me, they are. It's nothing for them to do that in honor of their family. So if you're using and abusing women out here, you know what, man? It's amazing you're still alive if you still are, because, maybe your time will come. Because they don't forget. They don't like being shamed. Filipinos just don't like being shamed. They don't. They remember you when you did them wrong, and they're also extremely jealous. So if they found some glimmer of hope or likeness or liking to you, and you screwed them over and went to another woman, you think they're going to forget that? And you don't know their psychology either. Let me tell you something. A woman's jealousy is not like that of a woman in America. It's pretty intense out here. There's nothing they wouldn't do to remedy a situation, to get even. You're putting your life in danger out here. I watch the news all the time. A woman was just found young woman, just found in a box in Tisai, near Talisai, but over in Tiza, in Cebu. I don't know what that was all about. Well, she was a Filipino woman, young, maybe 22. We don't know what happened with that, but when they don't like you out here, Filipino or foreigner, you're going to watch it. I told you, if you're in a foreign country, you've got to obey the rules out here. Don't try to bend the rules to go above the law, think you're above the law. It'll always work against you. It always does. If you're giving somebody shit and something happens, they come over your place or something, and, you have to protect yourself and you wind up hurting or killing them. Well, if they've been known to stalk people, to harass, hurt people, verbally, defaming, the community knows it, then the community's going to know that this guy was a troublemaker. And all fingers will point to that guy who now became your victim. Tables turned, you see. You were a victim of this person, but then they went too far with you. Then they became your victim. So who's right? Who's right? Philosophical question, really. Who's really right on that? But in preservation of your own life, let's face it, you would have to do whatever it is you have to do, won't you? keep this shit in mind. Don't come to this country and dishonor. The Asian culture is highly proper in many ways. They don't advocate violence unless violence finds them, or you wrong a family member, hurt somebody's daughters, do something wrong. Then they're very good people that you know is the best people in the world you ever met, the friendliest people in the world, and they are. Well, you're going to see the other side of the coin with that. As friendly as they are, fuck them over or fuck a family member over. Believe me, I know this, okay? There's a lot of people that, I got to sneeze. Excuse me. Believe me. I won't even go into that. Let's just say that I know this to be true, okay? That you fuck with a member of the family and you got other people in the family that want to go on a warpath, then you have to tell them no, just cool it. I'll handle it my own way. I know this to be true. And I know how Filipino families are for honor. The Japanese are very honorable people. Well, so are the Filipinos. Asians, period. Or the rice eaters that you talk about, right? They're very honorable people. Don't fuck with their family. Anyone in their family. They have a long memory for that stuff. And if an opportunity comes up to remedy that situation, it could very well happen. Yeah. Put your guard up. Better put your guard up. That's what I say. Better yet, don't get in trouble in the first place. You won't have to worry about these situations. Kind of an interesting topic matter I kind of jumped into tonight, and I got to wind down for the night. Just come here and stop chasing your own tail. Come with a game plan. Okay? Come with a game plan. You want to settle out here? Well, what's it going to take to get you settled? Okay? You got the money. You think you can survive on whatever your pension is? Okay, that's a good head start. Fantastic. Yeah. Yeah, they have. For good reason. Yeah. People figured him out. And, well, he's one of the people we're talking about. And the people that are supporting him, they're all just as guilty as he is. Because anybody that supports a bum like this guy is non-deserving of any donations at all, because you're just enabling him. Stop preaching God and say, help your fellow man no matter what he did. But in the same breath, you're saying, I know he's done all those crimes. He should be punished for it. Well, why are you giving him money? If you're saying he should be punished for the things he did and pay for his crime, why are you enabling him? Bringing him food and money? Why? Why are you doing that? To piss somebody else off? But then you would allow this person to do the same thing again if they got away with their crime. Why would you do that? Well, why does anybody do anything on here, right? Why do they make allegations against innocent people? Why do they label people as this and that? Why? Because they could. These are sick people, really mentally ill people. I told you, I don't hang with foreigners because I choose not to. I choose not to. Okay? Now, my country, USA, has become a foreign country to me. Those are foreigners to me. Shoes on the other foot now. They are foreigners to me. I'll talk to you on YouTube, things like that, but I don't hang with foreigners. I don't particularly want any foreigners to visit me. I chose my world to be around Filipino people, and that's exactly what I'm doing. I immersed myself into the culture, and I'm happy with it. And that's what you have to do. Donation envy? What the fuck is that supposed to mean, Agante? What's this donation envy? Are we talking about donations on my show? Only thing I mentioned is donations to your good buddy. Your good buddy that you kissed ass for how many years? But yet you talk bad about him at the same time, but yet you support him. I don't get it. Maybe I wasn't meant to get it. By the way, I was at the scene of the crime today. I was at Marlin's restaurant. I don't know if it's uploaded yet. I got an upload there, guys. You might want to check it out tonight. Anyway, let's see, Frisbee's also known as. Yeah, well, I know that. Okay, obviously. So ask yourself that question when you come to the Philippines. Why are you coming there? It's just for the piece of ass, or do you give a shit about the culture at all? Maybe you don't. That's why you use and abuse women, because you think they're disposable entities, disposable objects, material objects, used rubbers, disposable gloves. You can't treat women like this. And if you do, I sincerely hope that everything comes full circle, that you get your ass kicked no matter who you are, or your knife slit, or a knife in your fucking rib cage, because you deserve it. This ain't your country, Jack. It ain't your country. Yeah. So think before you come here, and if you're going to stay here, number one, afford to stay here. Make sure you got the money. Treat people with respect. You will get it back, I assure you. Laugh at the locals. Abuse their women, which could be somebody's sister, could be somebody's daughter, somebody's cousin, and you fuck with them, and guess what? You just might get fucked back, but not in the way you want to get fucked. When you get a knife in your chest, don't fuck with Filipino people out here. Do yourself a favor. If you don't want to be in a long relationship with somebody, find a Filipina that feels the same way you do, and that's okay. If she just wants a little action, overnight action, a fuck buddy, that's fine, as long as you guys arrange that. But the wrong thing is to tell a Filipina and make promises just to get in her goddamn pants. If I was a brother or father or whatever of this shit, I'd be the guy to define you and kick your ass. Absolutely would. Somebody's daughter. To treat her that way and use her that way, like trash. If I was a father or a brother, big brother of this girl, I'd be having a hunting party together. I would put a hunting party together. Follow me? And rightfully so. Look, it's a tough country to live in. It really is. But it could be a pleasant experience if that's what you make of it. And just stay out of trouble. Okay? Now, it's not a troll channel here. We're not talking about trolls, but inadvertently, it does have to do with some trolls who basically follow a pathway that kind of gets them into trouble. And if they're not living out here, and if they cause that much trouble already and are not living out here, there's probably an easy assessment to make that they probably should not live out here. Because if they cause trouble from abroad before they come here, you can figure they're going to cause trouble and be themselves, when they actually come and live here. Okay, I said I was going to do a long show. I have an upload there if you want to check it out. Went for my power walk at the beach in town. Okay, so that's probably up there right now. If it ain't, it's still loading. If you can't get enough of me, as I said, there's an upload coming. It's probably out there right now. But when you hear certain vloggers that move here from America, and they're big experts on the Philippines after less than a year. And they come out here to try to get laid, but they can't even get that done. Can't get the job done with that either. And they're now professors of the Philippines culture, connoisseurs of the Filipino women out here, which is all bullshit. They put on a show. They don't really say anything different, do anything different, except to rate the women as if they're on some high pedestal. They're rating the women as a baddie or a fatty. Ah, Jesus Christ, really, man. Man, I'm hiding you on here because I don't want to talk about Barry. Okay, I made that clear prior. You try to bait me into talking about him, and I wind up mentioning the person's name reluctantly, but I don't want to do that again. Okay, really, I don't. Let the law system take care of him, whatever they're going to do. That's all I can tell you. But if you guys have plans of coming out here, you better. I'm trying to give you a wake up call. You don't know who's capable of doing what. That could even include me. You don't know. When the chips are down, you don't know what anybody will do to protect themselves, their family, or the honor of a Filipino or Filipina. You don't know Filipinas if they have a very aggressive family either. That if you do them wrong, that, you know, their big Filipino brother or father or other family members going to come and kick your ass, or maybe worse. Keep your nose clean out here. Look, I knew a guy that went to Thailand. They used to call him Three Dog. He's from Hawaii. He had three dogs. Always seen him at Kahina Beach. And he went to Thailand to get his teeth done. But he decided to go into a bar. And he was a chronic pothead, okay? I hate those fucking potheads. He was a chronic pothead. And something went wrong. Okay, he wanted his pot so bad because he was chronic, because he can't walk. Now it's different, Thailand is different now. This was a while back. But I don't know, he did something off to piss off some Australian guy at a club, and he got shot 3 times, one in the head, one in the chest, and something else. We knew this guy. He wasn't a bad guy. He was a chronic and all that shit, but I don't think he was that bad of a person. You cannot walk into a different country and, try, you're going to try to indulge yourself in the drug industry because you have a habit. You got to smoke your joints. You got to have it. You got to be a little bit more discreet, number one, and, measure what is a crime in any particular country for possessing drugs. He had to go buy some weed, but he lost his life in the process. And what was the Aussie guy doing with a gun to begin with in Thailand? Where did he get a fucking gun to blow this guy away? I don't understand that part. Probably never will. So all I'm saying is, I'm going to sign off now. All I'm saying is, guys, you got to watch yourself out here. I mean, serious. Don't fuck with people. Don't fuck with Filipinos, and don't fuck with other foreigners, man. Because you don't know their psychology. You just don't know. I mean, you really don't know what they're capable of. Follow me? All right, that's my show.